My name's Chris Artemu and I'm the Operations Manager here at Kakadu National Park, and basically I look after, or I'm responsible for the operational ranges, so within all our districts, as well as our compliance and our safety. And certainly safety is paramount in looking after our visitors, but also the residents within the park, and ourselves. Definitely, we certainly don't risk anything that we don't have to. The most amazing thing about Kakadu National Park is the number of river systems that we have in the park. So we have 4 major river systems, and some of them are up to 200 kilometres long and have catchments of about 16,000 square kilometres. Now when you add that with our sort of rainfall in the wet season, can be anything well over, in a normal wet season can be over 1.5 metres of rain, you can imagine what happens to some of our creeks and river systems. They can rise, they can fluctuate. It's pretty good during the middle of the wet season when they're up and they stay up, but the worst part about it is the early part of the wet season when they can fluctuate. And this one here, the Magilla, you can see it can go anywhere from well up to 2 metres, but at this time of year it can fluctuate between well over the metre to down below around about the 0.5 metre, which sort of gives people a bit of a false sense of security that they can drive across. Anything like that, as I said, they do fluctuate. The other side of it is that these roads, you never know what's underneath them. It's certainly not safe to walk across because they are all in crocodile areas, and even people down south, they say, oh well, I'll walk across first. But certainly within Kakadu, where we have crocodiles and they'll move about, particularly in the wet season, it is not safe to get out and walk across a creek like this. And certainly some big crocodiles have been up in this creek itself. So it is really something that we do push on. We are the traditional owners and rangers. We are very concerned about visitors' safety in Kakadu, and certainly trying to cross creeks and rivers like this can cause some serious problems. We have had to rescue a number of people even this year from Cahill's Crossing, which again it's not something that we do lightly. We put our own lives at risk when we do that, and but to save people, and often it is just a matter of that they just weren't thinking right when they did it, and they've driven in there. The force of the water is probably the worst thing. Even though an area it may show on the gauge as only being 0.8 of a metre or 0.5 of a metre, the force of the water that the environment sends down here, like I said, there's a big catchment area, there's a lot of water behind it, and it certainly can catch people off guard. They go across the crossing and they get washed off the crossing, and it can mean going from 0.5 of a metre into 2 or 3 metres of water very, very quickly. Obviously the vehicle then can sink, and people either, if they're lucky enough, get out of the vehicle, but then again there's the crocodiles as well, so it's not just as easy as it is down south. I suppose one of the other traps that we do see here is this is a good time for fishing. You've got the barra on the move, moving up into the floodplains, but really a $5 or $10 lure is not worth risking your life for. And we do see that people will snag a lure and then they'll go either walking into the water and all that, and with the crocs around, and just the strength of that water can easily wash someone off their feet, and for a $5 or $10 lure, you could lose your life. So certainly we advise people to be very, very croc wise, and also just flood wise while you're fishing. We certainly say that if it's flooded, don't bother going across. It's not worth it. Definitely wait and see. Kakadu on the wet is absolutely beautiful, but go to the places that are open. There's a lot to see that stays open during the wet season, and stay safe.